Well, hello Capricorn. I'm going to do your love relationship tarot reading for the second week of March 2020. Prior to getting started, did a little bit of clearing my mind and some pre-shuffle, getting the cards ready, really thinking about the theme of this reading, or the main overall theme. But before I get to that, I just want to make sure and just tell you how I do things real quick. I do not generally read reversals in a general collective reading for a sign. A couple reasons for that, but this is only going to be 10, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at the most. So not a lot of time to get into a lot of detail. And also I will read cards that jump out and pop out, and we'll just go from there. We'll see what happens. But I did a little pre-shuffle, and actually first thing that came to my mind that really just keeps ringing true with me is there may be some elements of travel, vacation, or even business travel, something like that seems to be something that keeps sticking in my head. And usually when something sticks in my head and doesn't want to leave, that's a message, it's a reason. We also had two cards pop out while I was preparing the cards, and we had the Ten of Wands, which was the first one to pop out, and that was of course carrying a load, carrying a burden of some sort. But additionally, the Five of Swords popped out in reverse, and I am going to read this in reverse because I think it's appropriate. I think this signifies that maybe you've laid down some burdens, you've laid to rest some past traumas, past resentments, grudges, or other types of conflict, maybe perhaps some healing, and some other things in your life recently that you have been able to put down and put to rest. And maybe there's been an end to some conflict, relationship conflict of any type, doesn't have to be romantic. But that's kind of where we're at with this starting off. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put those cards back. I'm going to work with 3 decks: the Tarot of Dreams, the Lightworker Seers, or the Seers Lightworker, and the Dreaming Way Tarot. And I also have another little deck that I might pull out and use too, depending on where we go. So we're going to see about your current relationship status. Some of you may be in a relationship, some may be single, some may be breaking up, divorcing, getting back together, who knows. I'm going to try and pull as much out as I can. I would prefer that my readings are meant for a smaller audience that's more specific overall, rather than just kind of vague and bits and pieces fit. And keep in mind, you could be cross-watching, or the roles can be somewhat reversed between you and what I refer to as your person, or your potential love interest, or whoever that may be. So that said, let's get started. All right, so here we go. This is the Dreaming Way Tarot, and this is for the sign of Capricorn, sun sign. You may want to check your moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign if you seem to have trouble with a general Capricorn reading making a whole lot of sense with you. That can make all the difference. For example, I'm a Leo sun and ascending, and a Virgo moon. The moon sign kind of represents the shadow aspects, or I like to kind of refer to the moon sign as sometimes being your internal dialogue, your emotional body, what you think and feel but maybe don't say out loud. And there's much more to it. I'm not an astrologer by any means, But we did talk about laying down some burdens and taking a step away from some past conflict and hurt. So let's see where we go. I'm going to start here. Two of Swords. Okay, so this is the first card out. Get kind of oriented here. Apologize. Two of Swords. So unable to make a decision, a choice in a matter that is that you probably don't have all the information, all the facts, that you're feeling conflicted. Move that over. We have the Ten of Pentacles. That's definitely earth energy. You are an earth sign. Material gain. Doesn't have to be just material gain coming in, or your current status is being materially, I would say, prosperous, abundant. That's too many. I think you have a choice involving money. Maybe you're having to choose between money, work life, and a partner. The World. That's a nice card to have. So Capricorn, Capricorns, like some signs, are said to be stubborn. I believe you're ruled by Saturn. I'm not an astrologer. You're probably fairly independent. We got the World card here. And we got the Empress. Okay. So let's see where this starts to take us. Now, the Two of Swords is representative of having to make a choice, being faced with the tough choice. You may not have all the information. You have the Ten of Pentacles. I think your choice is probably, because it's next to the Two of Swords, is probably about finances. And the World card here, this choice to me seems to be indicative of affecting your overall upcoming path. We're at the beginning of the zodiac, so starting over. The World may play out in two different ways. You may be faced with, the Empress is that wholesome, motherly person who is generally can sometimes represent somebody that is not only just home and family and motherhood, but also somebody that is intuitive, somebody that's financially abundant. So you may have to be making a choice between a relationship and money. But we're going to pull some cards. I'm just going to use this little deck here to see if we can clarify some of this. Perhaps those two cards I pulled out first are signifying that you are going to make a choice, and then you're going to put the burden to rest that you were carrying, that we talked about first way around. So we have Temperance. And I think that Temperance is telling you to chill. That you have a choice in a matter, and you're probably making it out to be more serious than it has to be. You have the Magician also with that. The Magician, really, quite literally, this is almost like magic. You have two choices. I think they're both good choices. I think that one, again, is more leaning toward relationship. The other could be related to work life and a job. But we're going to pull cards for your person here in a minute, for your potential person. You have the King of Wands for this Ten of Pentacles. So you're definitely passionate about your work. Work means everything to you, I think. Not everything, but for whoever this is for, whoever needs to hear this, work is a big deal. And I'm going to say, you know, something tells me we have the World card, and we have the number 21. So if your birthday is like December 21st and you're right on the cusp, I think that, hold on, let me finish that thought in a second. Two of Rods. So Two of Wands, looking ahead, looking to the future, really seriously considering what it is that you are going to do. This choice here, the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, really this choice is life-changing. And I'd like to know more about that. But if your birthday, if you're on the cusp, I think, like, let's say that that would probably be the 21st of December. I think this message is probably very specific to you. And look at this. I have pulled one more card here for the Two of Wands, and you got the Wheel of Fortune again. So, with that said, you have, what comes to my mind is, what's that poem? Is that Walt Whitman? Two roads diverged in the wood, and I think that you want to take the road less traveled. It's kind of virtuous, and I think that's the route you want to go. I think you're probably wanting to distance yourself from a relationship, from love, and that type of thing. And it's not because of money and finances, but there's something that perhaps you have an opportunity. This might be a once in a lifetime opportunity. If the world pops out, then definitely for sure the Hierophant. So that noble once in a lifetime opportunity, it's very virtuous. You know, this could be something like the Peace Corps or something something to that effect. And the Hierophant is somebody who's very traditional. He or she is somebody that values ideas and concepts. Somebody that is well-rounded and just really has a lot of worldly wisdom. And I think that's the path you want to go down. And you have the Empress here. This may not represent, sometimes Empress represents children and pregnancy, but in this case, I don't think it does. I think it represents, perhaps you are a feminine, and you could be masculine, or you could be cross-watching. So there's a lot of different ways this could go, but I think this is probably a non-traditional role for a feminine. And the Hierophant, this is a very noble thing. This is very virtuous, and I think that's what your choice is about. Is it going to be love? Is it going to be money and career? Probably not even that so much. It is the experience and opportunity of a lifetime. So I think that's where this is going. I think that's where you're at in your love life. And so I think you're probably distancing yourself from that, Capricorn, and really struggling with, just really struggling with the idea of going it alone. You may be in a relationship. Look at this, Six of Wands. So, I'm sorry, Swords. I don't know why I said Wands. Six of Swords. This can sometimes quite literally mean a journey over water. I mean, that's the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot explanation, or that's one of the many meanings. And you quite literally are either moving, if you're in a relationship, this involves you moving away from them and going quite a distance. So I would say that there's travel involved. The Nine of Pentacles. definitely there's definitely an experience here to be had. And I think that if you don't take this opportunity that you have, you will probably be very, very disappointed in yourself. King of Pentacles. I mean, we have a lot of Earth in this spread here that we have going. I'm trying to get all the cards in here so you can see it. I keep hearing that. 2 Rose, Divergent Wood, Robert Frost, Walt Whitman. I don't know my poetry, so don't shoot me. But you get the idea. Somebody correct me. Tell me who it is. I suppose I could Google it. 10 of Swords. Okay, so this is the end of something. So if these are representative of your person, you are walking away. I don't want to say literally walking away, but you are making, or you're probably going to make the choice. You have the World twice over here. This is like destiny. This is what you were made for. This is a fated event. This is part of your plan, your spiritual walk, your just, it's everything. And I think this is, you are struggling with having to make this choice. You may have to cut somebody out of your life, not in a rude or mean way, but you may have to separate yourself and distance yourself from somebody. You very well may be making a big move. The 9 of Pentacles. If this is representative of a person you were involved with, there's a lot of happiness in this relationship. And you have the King of Pentacles. This person is probably very practical and I would say probably very understanding of what's going on. And the 10 of Swords here is being done. And whether this is a long term, this card just does not want to go in. So the Devil. Okay. You know, well, that's very striking as Capricorn represented in the tarot. And this has been coming out in like every reading. I don't know if this crazy Mercury retrograde crap. And again, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know a lot about astrology. I know enough to maybe have a couple interesting conversations, but that's about it. You know, I'm definitely trying to educate myself some more on it. But this is very representative of you, and this may cause a rift between you and the person that you may be agonizing over. Let's see what we can get. This is, I love Tarot of Dreams. This is like, these cards are thick, they're hardy. I've shuffled these a million times and they still look new, but I like them a little worn in, you know. These just will not wear in. Marchetti, I think, is the author and creator of these cards. So for the 6 of Swords, 5 of Wands. So definitely some conflict in this. Maybe if you choose to move on, it isn't going to be a happy ending. King of Wands. You may be dealing with someone with fire in their chart. I don't know. I can't talk tonight. I'm tripping over my tongue. So fire in their chart, or a fire sign, more specifically. So we have the 9 of Pentacles and we have the King of Wands. That could mean a lot of things in this, and that King of Wands for your person, they're very passionate about you. If you are walking away with from somebody for an opportunity, and they don't want to let you go, but I don't think they want you to lose this opportunity. What just fell out here? 8 of Cups. Yeah. So, so a lot of very masculine energy for this person. So we have the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Cups, leaving this behind, this relationship behind, letting a dream go. Kind of makes me feel sad, like bittersweet. Six of Coins. That Six of Coins is with the Ten of Swords, so this could be like a card of maybe perhaps sympathy. This is the card of receiving or giving, more specifically in this situation, or kind of lamenting over what this relationship was supposed to be, and then this comes along. And we have the Sun. You definitely may be dealing with the fire sign. We have the Devil, and clarifying that, the Sun. This could just be a lot of passion. This is with the Devil. This is kind of like, to me, yin and yang, you know? Like the light versus the dark. And so I think this represents your person's anxiety, fear, sadness. But I think the Sun is representative of their strength to move on and carry on. I think this is very specific reading. And it may be for this, I don't know why I was getting this kind of message of the cusp, and that was the number 21 that was kind of talking to me. Or it could be 2 + 1 is 3. It could be January 3rd. Maybe that's your birthday, January 3rd. And that's meant for you. So we're going to end with the bottom of the deck on these. 5 of Coins. So this is your person. Kind of a sad ending for them. For you, let's see, we have 8 of Cups, and you both had, I think you both had 8 of Cups. I'd have to dig and look. Yeah, you did. So kind of walking away from a dream, but in a lot of circumstances, when you're walking away from something, you're walking towards something else. So don't forget that. I think that's the message here. You may be walking away from something, but you're walking towards something new. 7 of Pentacles. And I like this because this to me is very descriptive of your person. They're very deeply rooted in and invested in this relationship, and that of course is something that can be pretty painful and hard. And then finally, for you, we have the Ace of Swords. I think that's very fitting. Ace of Swords. And look, you got the World in here 2 times. That's like double confirmation. And the 2 of Wands, looking forward, looking ahead with what's to come. And then the Ace of Swords, the final outcome, or the final outcome which leads to the new beginning, I should say. And I think this represents that your conscience is clear after you've made up your mind, after you move forward, and you're laying to rest what we talked about, those burdens. 5 of Swords was upside down. You had the 10 of Wands up, and I think this Ace of Sword here is the last card. The first 2 that I pulled out being, again, the Ten of Wands, and the Five of Swords in the reverse. So, Capricorn, and I may have called you Virgo by accident. If I did, forgive me. This is Capricorn. But hey, Virgo, if this is you, and I accidentally called you a Virgo and you're watching this, or maybe one of your other signs is Virgo, I don't know. I'm really tired. So this is your reading. This is, take what fits and leave the rest. But I really think that this is specific for somebody that really needed to hear it. They needed to know that this is really a thing of destiny. And I don't know. But somebody let me know about the poem anyway. Who is that author? So that's your reading. If you like my reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. All right, Capricorn. Forgive me if I did accidentally call you Virgo. I don't know if I did. Sometimes it all blends together. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. And I just wanted to recap here. Having the world twice, this really to me is like a fated event. It's destiny. And if you're having to walk away from something good to walk towards something better, and it's a painful choice, just know that no matter what decision you make, you're making the right decision. I want to thank you for taking the time and energy to listen. If this fits with you, please leave me a comment. This is more directed toward the second week of March, but this could play out around any time, maybe a little before, maybe after, but in that time frame. And let me know, leave me a comment if this hits home for you, if this fits. And of course, I would like some love if this was a good reading. So like, share, and subscribe. Have an awesome day. Thank you.